Can't hear.
Andy, it's Eli. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. I can hear you too. Okay, can I get your student ID number, please?
Yeah, I just sent it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a moment. Is this for TESL 343 again?
Yes, this is a different assignment.
Okay, what kind of assignment is it?
This is the term paper. And I'm still writing the first paragraph with the intro to the assignment.
Okay, so you're still drafting it then, right?
Yeah, still in the drafting stage.
Got it, okay. Send you in. Okay, you're all set.
Okay.
All right. Show me what you got so far.
Okay.
So this is it right here?
Yeah. I can also show you the direction. Just the directions.
Term project part 1. Okay, this assignment. Your assignment is to select a single topic and turn in a 1 or 2 paragraph description of that lesson topic. You will later create a complete alternative, authentic assessment and plan for this topic. Note that this is a cumulative assignment. Part 2 builds on part 1. Part 3 builds on parts 1 and 2. Part 4, parts 1, 2, and 3, and part 5 on parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Scroll down, please. This assignment should be typed, stored on your computer as a Word, Pages, or Docs document. You will be adding to this later at each step of the process project and submit it on D2L as a PDF document. Do not put your name on the paper. We will be doing anonymous peer reviews later in the semester, and I will know it is yours by its submission on D2L. Okay, so do you get that part right there?
Yeah, that's why you saw on my paper I did write my name on it. It's just the topic and the paragraph.
Right. There are 2 important details. So no name on the actual document. And before you submit it, you're going to need to change it from whatever you're using, Google Docs or Word, to a PDF document.
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I can, when I click on downloading it, I can save it as a PDF.
Got it. Okay. All right, let's see. Background supplemental information. As you develop your lesson plan topic, you need to draw the descriptions of non-reciprocal and reciprocal target language uses that you read about last week in from additional readings in Tu ELI. The results of the brainstorming of topics in discussion board 1. Topic may already be there, and if not, it should help you pick one. This week's reading of Brown and Hudson from additional readings in Tu ELI. Scroll down, please.
Okay.
You only need to create one lesson topic. It must represent a reciprocal TOU that focuses on speaking and listening. Therefore, it is not just a vocabulary or grammar lesson, but one that focuses on real language use and one that will work well with an alternative assessment. While speaking and listening are the required focus, feel free to include reading and writing tasks as well if appropriate. Once selected, the topic should not change for the rest of the semester, so consider the whole project and choose a topic carefully. Give this step some real thought. You want to come up with a lesson topic that can be used to satisfy the work needed across the rest of the project. Your topic will eventually be used for the following future assignments. You will later develop a detailed lesson plan with clear objectives and the purpose of the assessment. Part 2. Document clear alternative assessment specifications and create the assessment items. Part 3. Document an administration plan for your alternative, including scoring criteria. Part 4. Document a self-review, a peer review of the project of a colleague in the class. 5. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's go back to your paper. Okay. Do me a favor.
Yes.
Read what you have so far in the first paragraph that you've done.
The topic was interacting with salesperson. For this assignment, I will discuss how a student will be using reciprocal target language use when interacting with a salesperson when shopping for clothes and shoes. When the student and their parents are shopping for clothes and shoes, they might come to some issues like not having their size on the rack and shelves. Then they would need to ask for someone who works there to help them. When talking to the salesperson, it might be either the parent or the child who will be asking for help to find the correct size of clothing or shoe size. In most situations, it would be the parent who would be asking about the size of the piece of clothing or shoe. If the language the parent does not speak English that well, then it would be the child who will be asking the salesperson. The salesperson will then tell the customer if they have the size in the back or if the item is the only one in stock. The salesperson can also tell the customer that they can come back another time if the item is back in stock.
And that's all you have so far?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Let me see. So the topic is good, I think, because you're talking about real world, real life application,
Yes.
which is, shopping for clothing and shoes and stuff. But at this point
Yes.
of the assignment, I think your professor Who is it? Is it John Armour?
Yes.
Yeah, so at this point of the assignment, I don't think John Armour wants you to like talk about specific things of what the customer will ask the salesperson and how the salesperson will answer the customer.
Mm-hmm.
I think John just wants you to talk about a general topic, which is shopping for clothing and shoes at a department store and having an interaction with a salesperson.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
So all of those other little details,
Mm-hmm.
like questions that the customer will ask,
Mhm.
and then answers that the salesperson will give. I think those are details that you're going to be able to provide during later stages of the term projects, like maybe part 2, 3, 4, or 5, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, he just wants you to give the topic, and then explain how it's a real life communication situation,
Okay. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
which it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe talk about a few other things, like general things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like explain why it would be helpful to students to learn this. And then also maybe explain an idea of how you're gonna assess it. Like don't go too far into detail about how you're gonna make the assessment,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just basically mention what kind of alternative assessment you're gonna use. Like use maybe like interview, oral assessment or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's pretty much it. Like if you can say everything that you need to say in 1 or 2 paragraphs, then you're good.
Mm. Okay. Yes. Mm.
I think that's what John wants you to do with this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Does that sound like something you can do before it's due? When? Tomorrow?
Yeah. At midnight.
Yeah. You think you could do that before tomorrow at midnight?
Mm.
It's not much, just 1 or 2 paragraphs, and that's it.
Yeah. Um.
Basically, you don't
Yes.
have to change the whole thing in this paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first few sentences where you introduce,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
like for example, for this assignment, I will discuss how a student will be using reciprocal target language when interacting with a salesperson while shopping for clothes and shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. That's a
Okay.
good sentence right there. And then when the student and their parents are shopping for clothes and shoes, they might come to some issues, like not having their size on the rack and shelves. Oh, okay. That's good too, because you're giving an overall example.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I would keep that second sentence too.
Okay.
I think that's appropriate. Let's see.
Okay.
Then they would need to ask for someone who works there to help them. Okay. Okay, that's probably useful too.
Mm-hmm.
But then it says, when talking to the salesperson, it might be either the parent or child. Okay, so now in that sentence,
Yes.
you're really getting into like specifics.
Okay.
So after that third sentence,
Mm-hmm.
I would change it up a little bit and
Mhm.
instead be a little more general, like maybe explain that this is like real world communication. It would be useful to the student to learn this lesson because it's going to help them while shopping for clothing and shoes. Uh, yeah, just try to keep it general at this point, at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Besides that, yeah, you should be good to go.
So it was toward the last few sentences is what I would need to change, right?
Starting where it says, when talking to the salesperson, it might be either the parent or the child who would be asking for help to find the correct size of clothing or shoe size. Starting with that sentence onward, instead of being so specific, you might want to just try being a little more general, like explaining that this is this is authentic language, like it happens out in the real world because people need to shop for clothing and shoes.
Okay.
Explain that this lesson would be helpful because of that. And in fact,
yes.
I also think John prefers the lesson and to take place outside of a classroom. So you could say, um, you know, you're gonna have your students, you're gonna give your students a task that involves going to a department store and talking to a salesperson, asking the salesperson, do you have this in my size, et cetera, how much does it cost? Like, for example, have the students write up some questions ahead of time to ask the salesperson at the department store, like asking them if they have a particular piece of clothing in their size. And if so, ask them what the price is. If they don't have something in your size, ask them for something else that's in your size, et cetera. Ask them for, like, different colors. Does it come in this color instead?
Okay.
Is it on sale? Et cetera. Is it on backlog? Et cetera. Questions like that. I think that's what this assignment is asking you to do. Okay.
Okay.
It's like it's like an assignment, but I think John Armour prefers that you take the lesson outside of the classroom instead. Like you give the students a task and you say, Okay, now I want you to go to a department store and ask the salesperson these questions just to practice your English in an authentic setting instead of a classroom setting.
Okay.
You know the difference between the two, between authentic language and classroom language that is not authentic?
A little bit.
Okay, so if a student is in a classroom
Mm-hmm.
and the teacher says, okay, class, today we're going to practice talking to a salesperson at a department store. Now, if you're looking for a sweater, then this is what you say to the salesperson. Excuse me, I'm looking for a sweater. Everybody, repeat after me. Excuse me. And then the students say, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the teacher says, I am looking for a sweater. And then the students say, I am looking for a sweater. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to tell you is they are learning how to speak the language, and how to ask a salesperson at a department store if they're shopping for a sweater, but that's not authentic language. That's in authentic language
Okay. Yes.
because it's taking place in a classroom setting. It's not for real.
Okay.
Authentic language happens out in the real world. You're actually using the language to get something done for real. That's authentic language.
Mm-hmm.
Authentic means real language. Authentic language, same thing. And so that's what John Armour prefers for this assignment. He would like for you to come up with something that involves students to go somewhere out in the real world, outside of the classroom, and practice authentic language, which is what you've already done here
Mm-hmm.
with this topic. This is good.
Okay.
Okay.
Just kind of right how it is supposed to.
Yeah, exactly. And
Kind of like a summary-ish before I start the paper, kind of, right?
exactly. Good thinking, Mandy. It's a summary. You're not going into detail yet. You're not starting the actual assignment.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a summary, an outline.
Okay.
Well done. Yeah, you got the right idea.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you're on the right track because this is an assignment asking students to practice authentic language
Mm-hmm.
because the teacher is asking them to visit a department store to ask the salesperson questions about clothing and shoes.
Yes.
It's just if I were you, I would also leave out the detail of going to the department store with the student's parents,
Okay.
because I think that's sort of unnecessary. It adds more complication,
Hmm.
and the complication is not really necessary. Just keep it simple and set it up as if the student was just going to the department store themselves.
Okay.
Even though it may seem inappropriate, like for example, you might be thinking, well, what if I'm teaching a class of first or second graders?
Mm,
Well, okay, just don't mention that detail. Don't mention that detail. Just, just think maybe, okay, well, I'm thinking about junior high students
mm-hmm.
or high school students. Just leave the age and the grade of the class out of the equation for now. Um, I think in later steps of the assignment, like maybe step 2 or step 3 or something like that, you might need to start being more specific.
I think so. For
And
the
at that
next
point,
one is the grade with the grade.
right. At that point, one of those details can be this is for junior high level or high school. Because at that point they can go to department stores by themselves.
Okay.
But I think you're on the right track. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, Mandy, what else? Is there anything else I could help you with this?
Um. The first sentence is okay, and then I might need a reword thing too about the student and the parent.
Starting with the sentence that says, when talking to the salesperson, it might be either the parent or the child.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with that one. Yeah, it starts getting a little too specific.
Okay.
Um, instead I would say I would explain that this is um an assignment in authentic English practice, because students will get a chance to visit a department store in person and practice their English in a real life setting as they ask a salesperson questions regarding clothing and shoes. So you can say something like that. And then maybe include a few like sample questions like, um, do you have this in my size? Or where is shoe section? Or do you have this in a different color? Or how much does this cost? Is this on sale? You could provide different like sample questions,
Mm-hmm.
just to give an idea of like what direction you're going to take this assignment in the future. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So. Hmm. This is too specific.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Okay, what did you type so far? Where's the beginning?
I also called change. I took those other sentences out and then I added these three.
Okay, let's see. Students will be able to authenticate reciprocal target language use because the student is able to practice using the target language while talking to the salesperson. Students will be able to ask questions like, do you have this in this size? Is this sale? Where is the shoe section? Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see. Let's just clean it up a little bit. Students will be able to between the words
Yes.
to and authentic, insert the word use. Students will be able to use authentic language when they are, you see the words when they are?
Yes.
Replace those three words with while. Students will be able to use authentic language while talking to the salesperson. Replace the with a, so it says a salesperson. While talking to a salesperson at the store. You see where it says the?
Yes.
So replace the with a department. Okay, students will be able to use authentic language while talking to a salesperson at a department store. How does that sound?
Okay.
All right. This is reciprocal TLU.
Would that be the same thing as the previous one?
Yeah, you know what? I think you already typed target language use with TLU in parentheses towards the top. So instead of saying target language use right there,
yes,
you could just say TLU. This is, I should say,
yes.
this is A. This is a reciprocal TLU. Type the word assignment after TLU.
Okay.
This is a reciprocal TLU assignment because the student is able to practice using target language while talking to the salesperson. Okay, once again, instead of the salesperson, say a salesperson. Okay. Students will be able to ask questions like, replace the word like with the words such as.
Okay.
Such as, and then put a comma after as.
Okay.
Do you have this size? Is there one for sale? Where is the shoe section. Okay, good. Looks good.
Would I need to add more then?
Well, he said,
Or this okay?
John Armour said 1 or 2 paragraphs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can say what you need to say in 1 paragraph, then I think you got it.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. Keep in mind, though, that this is one activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in later stages of this term project, you're going to need to develop it
Mm-hmm.
and turn it into an entire lesson plan
Yes. Uh-huh.
with other activities.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So maybe it's a good idea to also explain. And for this part, I would start a second paragraph. Maybe like without getting too far into specifics, explain how you're going to develop this into a larger lesson. See what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes.
Like right now you're introducing the topic
Mm-hmm.
of shopping
Mm-hmm.
in a department store.
Yes. Yes.
So there's different ways that you can approach other assignments in this lesson,
Mm-hmm.
while staying in the same topic of shopping and language that you use for shopping.
Okay. Yes.
You have the theme,
Mm-hmm.
which is shopping at a
Yes.
department store.
Uh-huh.
So it shouldn't be too difficult to come up with other assignments in the same lesson plan that use the same theme.
Okay.
And I don't think all of it has to be authentic like
Mm-hmm.
this one. Like you could use other parts of the lesson that are inside the classroom instead. But don't go too far into detail though. Just explain that you plan to eventually develop an entire lesson plan with other assignments that have to do with the theme of shopping.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, I just added that one sentence.
Let me see. In the later stages of this assignment, students will be able to practice this idea of the classroom by acting out scenarios when shopping, acting out scenarios when shopping. Let's replace the word when with while.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, in the later stages of this assignment, students will be able to practice this idea in the classroom. In the classroom. Let's replace the word the with a. So it says a classroom.
Okay.
And then after the word classroom,
Yes.
let's insert the word environment. In the later stages of this assignment, students will be able to practice this. Students will. You see the words
Yes.
be able to practice?
Here. Yes.
Replace those 4 words with the word learn. In the later stages of this assignment, students will learn after the word learn,
Yes.
type other elements of students will learn other elements of this idea in a classroom environment. Do you see where it says this idea?
Yes.
Replace those two words with shopping. After environment,
yes.
replace that with through. Not environment.
Mm.
Not environment. By. Okay. Now delete by. Through. Okay, now delete acting out scenarios while shopping and activities. In the later stages of this assignment, students will learn other elements of shopping in a classroom environment through other activities. How does that sound?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, hey, Mandy, listen, it's 12:52. I got to start getting ready for my 1 o'clock appointment.
Okay.
Good luck on this. I think you're on the right track, and I will talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.